Meet the soldier. He's got a rocket launcher, some sort of support weapon, either being one of the banners or a shotgun, and he's got pretty much a melee slot of one of three obvious choices. Not a lot of depth on the surface, but his real kind of skill comes from his technique, being rocket jumping, where you look at the ground, shoot, jump, and crouch all at the same time, and you break your ankles in the process. Now, anybody with half a brain would be able to realize that the breaking your ankles in the process part is a little bit of a problem. So to solve this problem, this video is something that I wish I had quite a long time ago about when to rocket jump and why sometimes you shouldn't, why sometimes you should, and just overall the best kind of scenarios to doing it. Because with normal rocket launcher, okay, you lose about 40 health per jump, give or take a little bit, depending on circumstances and how good you are. Assume around 40 health, but to be safe, let's say 1/4 of your health. That kind of says that you definitely shouldn't be rocket jumping under 40 HP, because then you'll just die. Nobody wants that. You don't want to just combust. So definitely don't do that. But a good time to rocket jump would be if you're ever overhealed by a medic, because like I mean that health is depleting over time anyway. You might as well use it. Just get to those front lines quicker. That's another time actually. When you are in setup phase, and let's say you helped out your engineer build up his teleporter at the very beginning of the round, you need to make it back quickly. You can just go ahead, you can just rocket jump back to the front lines. You have nothing to lose. I'm sure you'll be able to heal up in time for the round to start, so it'll be all fine. See, there's one item, though, that really changes how rocket jumping works. It's called the gunboats. You may have heard of them. Pretty much what you do, you trade all of your entire secondary, which could be a shotgun, some sort of banner to help out your team and be the real supportive soldier that you know your team needs, in exchange for absolutely leaving them in the dust. Now, this has its pros and cons. You're able to move a lot more freely. Rocket jumping's now only taking 60% less self-blast damage. That does not include fall damage. So you're going from about 40 HP loss per jump to about 20. So essentially infinite if you know where all the health packs are on the map, or at least some of them. It's a really good tool to have, but sometimes your team really needs that banner, so I wouldn't recommend always using them. But if you want to use them, it's fine. They're fun. I really enjoy them. But then again, you lose a lot by getting rid of your shotgun or a banner or whatever else it may be. You do lose a lot, so don't always just assume that going with the gunboats is the best choice. Also, I don't think I really have any background footage for this, but if you ever, if a medic's getting attacked, you don't rocket jump away from the medic, okay? The medic needs your help. If I do have background footage, I'd be showing it right now, but look, okay, if the medic needs help, help the medic, all right? You are arguably the most mobile class in the entire game as a soldier. Help out the medic if he needs it, It's really not that hard to just stay in the fight for a little bit longer. But the thing with the gunboats, you can just jump into fights, because normally when you rocket jump into a fight, you're going to be kind of blowing yourself up. Obviously, you're going to take 40 damage or so, and you're going to go into the fight one rocket less loaded up inside of your rocket launcher, which obviously isn't the greatest thing in the world. With the gunboats, though, you can pretty much just jump in for 17 health or whatever, shoot 2 rockets, and jump right back out. It's really a lot more forgiving than normal rocket jumping would be. However, sometimes it's best just not to rocket jump at all. I mean, you could have just walked into that fight with 4 rockets and absolutely no health loss. Another big problem with rocket jumping is rocket jumping into sentries. This is why you shouldn't just instinctively rocket jump behind the enemy, because there's a pretty good chance that somebody's playing Engineer. Engineer is a very popular class to play in Team Fortress 2, and there's a pretty good chance that somebody's doing it. So just generic rule of thumb, don't just rocket jump and assume that you can just get anywhere all you want, unless you really know what you're doing, you have routes planned out, whatever it may be. So, in summary, if you have the gunboats, use them, and if you don't forget you have legs for a reason.